A major military operation is unfolding, quietly but deliberately. On June 16, 32 U.S. aerial refueling tankers departed from American bases en route to Europe, heading towards staging grounds used in past conflicts in the Middle East. This isn't a routine deployment. This scale of mobilization can support over 200 fighter aircraft simultaneously in a four-fold aerial campaign. And across the Pacific, another move. The USS Nimitz, one of the most powerful U.S. carrier groups, canceled its visit to Vietnam. It's now sailing toward the Middle East to join American naval forces already stationed there. Something big is coming, and all signs point toward Iran. The sudden concentration of tanker aircraft isn't for training. It's about readiness, keeping U.S. or allied jets airborne for extended periods. These aircraft aren't weapons themselves, but they enable long-range operations. Most of the tankers landed in Spain, Italy, and Germany, countries with U.S. air bases that serve as launch pads for missions into the Middle East. Notably, Airbase in Spain specializes in refueling long-range bomb, the Beta stealth bomber, which can carry bunker-busting bombs. If the B-2S are involved, the target is serious and buried deep. The Israeli Air Force recently struck Iran's nuclear facility at night. Satellite images confirmed visible destruction, and reports suggest several key scientists were killed. But this is only the surface. Iran's core enrichment efforts are hidden deep underground. The Fordow fuel enrichment plant is buried inside a mountain near Dukham, reinforced with tons of concrete and steel. But there's more. Iran has been constructing an even deeper and more fortified site codenamed the Pickaxe Mountain plant. This facility is located just south of Naval. Its layout, based on leaks and imagery, shows multiple tunnel entrances and enormous underground capacity. No international inspectors have been allowed in, and if Iran chooses to assemble a nuclear device, this is likely where it would happen. Israel's most advanced bunker busters, like the GBU-28, can only penetrate around 6 meters of concrete. Fordow and Pickaxe are believed to be buried far deeper than that. Only one weapon in the Western arsenal can destroy them: the GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator. Weighing over 13,000 kilograms, this bomb can pierce 60 meters of hardened concrete, but it can only be deployed by the U.S. Air Force's Beta stealth bombers. Israel has no such aircraft, which means any operation targeting Iran's fortified nuclear facilities cannot happen without direct U.S. involvement. That may already be in motion. The U.S. may not plan to strike Iran directly. Instead, it could support an Israeli offensive by refueling their jets, morale them to fly longer and carry more weapons. Removing external fuel tanks from aircraft creates room for additional bombs. That's a key logistical advantage in a sustained campaign. This would let Israel begin Phase 2 of its war strategy. The controversial Dahiya Doctrine, named after a suburb in Beirut, flattened during the 2006 Lebanon War. The Dahiya Doctrine relies on overwhelming firepower, targeting not just militants, but civilian infrastructure. Break the will of the population, pressure them to turn against militant groups, and create a deterrent effect through sheer devastation. Critics argue it violates international humanitarian law, especially the principles of proportionality and distinction between civilians and combatants. But Israel has used this doctrine before, and signs suggest it may use it again this time. In Tehran, Iran is not unprepared. It has invested heavily in survivability and asymmetric retaliation. It has stored hypersonic missiles deep underground, far beyond the reach of most airstrikes. These weapons are designed to evade radar, pierce through conventional missile defense systems like the Iron Dome, and strike with speed and precision. They are not for symbolic retaliation. They're for crippling blows. If the U.S. joins a direct attack, Iran is likely to respond quickly and severely. Potential targets include U.S. bases in Cyprus, such as Raf Akrotiri and Andreas Papandreou Air Base, Al Udeid in Qatar, America's regional command hub, Kem Arif Jen in Kuwait, Al Dhafra in the UAE, Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia, U.S. Navy ships in the Red Sea and Eastern Mediterranean. Even the U.S. Fifth Fleet's home base in Bahrain is within range. There is even concern Iran could use dirty bombs, conventional explosives laced with radioactive material, to increase psychological and environmental impact. The world has seen proxy wars between Iran and Israel for years, but a direct confrontation would be an entirely different scale. It would not be limited to airstrikes and retaliation. It could spiral into a multi-front regional war. Iran's allies like Hezbollah in Lebanon and various militias in Iraq and Syria would likely join the conflict. Israel's cities would come under heavy fire. U.S. troops and assets would be under constant threat. Civilians across the region would suffer immensely. Diplomacy has all but stalled. Nuclear talks have gone nowhere, and both sides seem increasingly willing to risk escalation. If either side believes a preemptive strike gives them an edge, they might act. The current U.S. administration may feel compelled to support Israel, while Iran's leadership may believe deterrence only works through strength. And once the missiles fly, it may be too late to walk it back. We may be on the edge of the most dangerous confrontation in the Middle East, since the US invasion of Iraq. Not because anyone wants a war, but because years of tension, distrust, and military buildup have brought us to the edge. The skies are full, the corridors are open, and the countdown may already have begun. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, give it a like, share it with someone who follows global events, and consider subscribing for more geopolitical deep dives. Until next time, stay informed and stay safe.